Hey, Raider Nation, what's good? Buckle up, because the 2025 NFL Draft just wrapped, and we've got some spicy news to unpack. The Raiders, like always, are making waves, but there's a wild twist in how undrafted free agents are shaking up the league, especially when it comes to cold, hard cash. Are we seeing an NFL draft injustice right in front of our eyes? Let's dive into this roller coaster and figure out what it means for our silver and black. Picture this. The draft ends, 256 players hear their names called, and the Raiders grab some serious talent. But what happens to the guys who don't get that call? They hit the undrafted free agent market, and let me tell you, it's a feeding frenzy. Teams like our Raiders and even the Vikings are throwing around serious guaranteed money to snag these hidden gems. Why does this matter? Because it's exposing a crazy gap in how the NFL pays its rookies. Stick with me for 10 scenes as we break down this draft drama. Compare the Raiders' moves to the league, and ask, is the system broken? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you rather be a late-round pick or an undrafted star with a fat check? Let's roll. General Manager Mark Davis and the Raiders front office have always had a knack for finding diamonds in the rough. In 2025, they're doubling down on undrafted free agents, just like the Vikings, who signed a whopping 19 UDFAs after the draft. These players, like Kansas offensive lineman Logan Brown, are getting serious cash, some even out-earning late-round picks. It's a bold strategy, and it's got us hyped for what's coming in training camp. Take Logan Brown, for example. This guy was a top 100 prospect on some draft boards, yet he went undrafted. The Vikings swooped in with a deal that reportedly includes a hefty guaranteed salary, rumored to be in the six figures. For the Raiders, we're hearing whispers of similar moves. Think big, athletic linemen or speedy playmakers who can compete for a roster spot. This approach screams one thing: our front office isn't sleeping on talent, no matter where it comes from. So what's the catch? Why are teams like the Raiders and Vikings betting big on UDFAs? It's about opportunity. These players get to pick their destination, unlike late-round picks stuck with whoever drafts them. Raider Nation, are we about to see the next Max Crosby rise from our UDFA class? Tell me who you're rooting for in the comments. Now, let's talk numbers, because this is where it gets wild. In the NFL, late-round draft picks, like say the 200th overall, might only see a signing bonus of $100,000 to $250,000. Meanwhile, top UDFAs are cashing in with Ascot. Some of these undrafted guys, like the Vikings' Logan Brown, are reportedly getting guarantees that rival or even beat those of sixth-rounders. It's like the undrafted players are winning the money game. For the Raiders, this trend is huge. Imagine we signed a guy like Corey Kiner, a running back who racked up 1,000+ yards in back-to-back college seasons. If he's getting more guaranteed money than a late-round pick, it shows teams are willing to pay for potential. The Raiders' 2025 UDFA class might include a speedster like Kiner, ready to fight for a spot behind our revamped defensive line. Here's the kicker. This pay gap raises eyebrows. Why is a guy who didn't hear his name called at the draft potentially banking more than the last pick in the 7th round? It's a head-scratcher, and it's got us wondering if the NFL's rookie wage scale needs a serious overhaul. What do you think, Nation? Is this fair, or is it time for a change? Let's zoom in on the Raiders' draft strategy for 2025. While we only had a handful of picks, maybe 5 or 6, similar to the Vikings' small class, our front office went all in on UDFAs to fill out the roster. Think about it. Last year, 43 undrafted players made NFL rosters. That's proof the talent doesn't stop when the draft does, and the Raiders are banking on that. Guys like Ivan Pace Jr., a Vikings UDFA from a couple of years ago, show what's possible. He went from undrafted to a key linebacker, and we've got our own history with undrafted stars like Rod Marinelli's defensive schemes finding gems. This year, we're eyeing players who can bring that same grit to Las Vegas. Maybe a versatile corner or a bruising fullback to complement our run-heavy approach. The question is, how many of our UDFAs will make the 53-man roster? Training camp is going to be a battle, with these hungry rookies fighting for every snap. Drop a comment. Which position do you think the Raiders need to bolster most with these undrafted signings? Here's where it gets juicy. The NFL's rookie pay structure is raising some serious questions. Late-round picks, like the Patriots' Kobe Minor at 256th overall, might only get a $100,000 signing bonus. But a top UDFA? They could be looking at $150,000 or more in guarantees like some of the Vikings signings. That's a gap that doesn't sit right with a lot of fans. For the Raiders, this could be a golden opportunity. By offering competitive guarantees, we're luring high-upside players who slipped through the draft cracks. Think of it like finding a vintage leather jacket at a thrift store. It's a steal if you know where to look. But it also highlights a flaw. Why are drafted players getting shortchanged compared to their undrafted peers? This disparity makes you wonder, is the draft system broken? Should the NFL bump up signing bonuses for those last 75 picks to match top UDFAs? Raider Nation, I want your take. Does this setup give undrafted players too much power? Or is it just smart business by teams like ours? Let's talk about what this means for the Raiders' 2025 roster. Our run-first identity, backed by a beefy offensive line, needs depth at key spots like tackle and running back. The Vikings signing of Logan Brown, a massive, athletic lineman, is the kind of move we'd love to see in silver and black. Picture a guy like that protecting our QB or opening lanes for our backs. The beauty of UDFAs is their hunger. These players have a chip on their shoulder, and the Raiders have a history of turning that fire into production. Remember, we've got a coaching staff that thrives on developing raw talent, perfect for turning an undrafted rookie into a roster lock or practice squad star. So, what's the vibe in Raider Nation? Are you pumped for our UDFA class to make some noise? Or do you think we should have traded up for more draft picks? Hit the comments and let's debate. Our 2025 season is riding on these moves. Now, let's get real about the NFL's draft economics. The Vikings UDFA class, with players like Joe Huber and Chaz Chambliss, reportedly includes 5 guys who were top 300 prospects pre-draft. That's serious talent for undrafted players, and the Raiders are likely chasing similar high-upside guys. But the pay gap between these UDFAs and late-round picks is glaring. For example, a 6th-rounder like the Vikings' Kobe King might only see a $150,000 signing bonus, while a top UDFA could get $200,000 or more in guarantees. It's not just about the money, it's about the message. Why should a drafted player, who went through the grueling draft process, earn less than someone who didn't? It's a weird flex by the NFL system. Raider Nation, what's your fix for this? Should the league cap UDFA guarantees or boost bonuses for late-round picks? I'm curious. Drop your solutions in the comments and let's figure out how to balance the scales. The Raiders' 2025 offseason is all about building around our core. With a run-heavy approach and a beefed-up O-line, we're looking for UDFAs who can add depth and versatility. The Vikings' success with players like Taki Taimani, who was derailed by injury but showed promise, is a blueprint we can follow. Our UDFA class could be the secret sauce for a playoff push. What's crazy is how UDFAs have the freedom to choose their team. Unlike a 7th-rounder locked into a franchise, undrafted players can weigh offers and pick the best fit. For the Raiders, that means we're selling Las Vegas as the place to be. Great weather, passionate fans, and a chance to shine in a wide-open depth chart. Who's the UDFA you're betting on to make our roster? Maybe a sleeper wideout or a scrappy linebacker. Let's hear your predictions in the comments. Raider Nation always knows best. Let's zoom out and look at the big picture. The NFL draft is a spectacle, but the UDFA market is where teams like the Raiders can outsmart the competition. The Vikings' 2025 class, ranked among the league's best, shows how aggressive spending can land impact players. We're likely doing the same, targeting guys who can contribute on special teams or as rotational depth. The downside? This pay disparity creates tension. Late-round picks are locked into smaller bonuses, while UDFAs can negotiate bigger guarantees. It's a market inefficiency the Raiders are exploiting, but it also shines a light on a system that feels unfair to some. Should the NFL rethink how it structures rookie contracts? Raider Nation, what's the move? Do we keep throwing cash at UDFAs, or should the league level the playing field? Drop your thoughts below. I'm dying to hear how you'd run the front office. Training camp is right around the corner, and the Raiders' UDFA class will be under the microscope. Will we find the next undrafted gem to carry the silver and black torch? The Vikings' Logan Brown, with his five-star pedigree and athleticism, is the kind of player we'd love to have battling for a spot in Las Vegas. Our roster spots are tight, but these rookies are ready to fight. The NFL's pay structure, though, keeps raising questions. If a UDFA gets more guaranteed money than a 6th or 7th rounder, it flips the draft's value on its head. It's a chance for the Raiders to capitalize, but it also sparks debate about fairness across the league. What's your take, nation? Is this a genius move or a broken system? Let's talk solutions. Should the NFL set a floor for late-round bonuses to match top UDFA guarantees? Or is this just the free market doing its thing? Hit the comments with your big ideas. Raider Nation always brings the heat. Alright, Raider Nation, we've broken down the draft, the UDFA madness, and the NFL's wild pay gap. The Raiders are building a squad that's ready to dominate in 2025, and our undrafted signings could be the X factor. From linemen to playmakers, we're stacking talent to make a run at the playoffs. Are you feeling the hype? This is just the start of our journey. Training camp will separate the roster locks from the practice squad hopefuls, and we'll be watching every snap. Who's your dark horse UDFA to make the team? Drop their name in the comments and let's get this conversation popping. If you're as fired up as I am, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video with every Raiders fan you know. Stay locked in for more Raiders news, and let's keep building the nation. Until next time, just win, baby.